have any idea what's going on?
Nope. But in 5 minutes, we're gonna find out what's happening.
These years were more known for disco and rock and roll, but who can forget all of the amazing television?
Well, look, you're a very interesting group of kids, and I'd love to go on talking to you forever. But it's time to play Let's Go to School.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 decade-defining TV shows of the 1970s.
You want me, Mr. Carlson?
Oh, yeah, come in, Jennifer. Have a seat.
No, thank you.
Well, all right. This particular point in time, I would like to dictate a press release.
I don't take dictation.
For our series on the top decade-defining shows per era, we picked series that spoke to the period in which they were made and set the standard for television during that time.
Don't argue with your mother. If she said I'm going out with another woman, I'm going out with another woman. Bye, y'all. Have a nice evening.
These shows were chosen for how important they were in the 1970s, regardless of when they started or finished. Number 10, Three's Company.
Well, how's my gorgeous little roommate today?
Oh, hey, you want to come over here and say that?
Why?
This plant could use some fertilizer.
Sharing an apartment can be tough, as the roommates in this sitcom find out.
That feels great. Yeah.
But those struggles can make for hilarious moments. This comedy of errors focused on three roomies who lived together out of financial necessity. And to appease their old-fashioned landlord, they told him the male member of the trio is gay.
Oh, so you're Chrissy.
No, silly, I am.
Of course, that became a frequent source of jokes, as did the slapstick, pratfalls, and general hijinks. A mid-season addition to the TV lineup, Three's Company defied expectations to succeed in the ratings over its run.
Which is more than I can say for some things around this house.
Number 9, The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Won't that be fun, having Aunt Mary living right upstairs from us? She's not my aunt.
Though it was a product of its time, this sitcom was ahead of its time as it was the first show centered on a never-married career woman.
Tell you what, I'll try you out for a couple of weeks, see if it works out. If I don't like you, I'll fire you.
Right.
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
Yes.
But that was far from its only virtue. It uses the story of Mary Richards, a Minneapolis TV producer, as a source for laugh-out-loud jokes about office friendships and biting commentary about issues like feminism and homosexuality.
What do you mean he's not your type? He is witty. He is attractive. He's successful. He's single. He's gay.
The series' realistic portrayal of relationships was influential in the TV world for many years, allowing it to spawn several spin-offs and earn 29 Emmy Awards in total.
I'll come right to the point. I'm here to talk about you, and Mary's here to see to it that I don't rip your face off. Fill that!
Number 8, All in the Family.
Get out of my chair, meathead.
Like Mary Tyler Moore, this sitcom was also unafraid to discuss taboo topics, but it cast its net even wider.
You're back. Where is that dumb meathead?
Archie Bunker was never shy to speak his mind, and he was meant to satirize common attitudes and challenge the status quo.
Mickey Mouse ain't got no race. He stands for all men.
That's why Walt made him a mouse.
Though the show depicted the Bunker family and their squabbles, it also tackled issues previously considered unsuitable for TV, like rape, abortion, and the Vietnam War, though always with a sense of humor.
The house is as cold as an icebox. Didn't you think to turn up the heat?
Oh, I don't think we should, Archie. Not with the energy crisis.
Oh, the energy crisis. I wish you'd come up with one of them hot flashes of yours now that we need it.
It was so successful, it won multiple awards, regularly topped the ratings, and spawned a whopping 5 spin-offs.
Well, let me tell you one thing about Richard E. Nixon. He knows how to keep his wife Pat home. Roosevelt could never do that with Eleanor.
Number 7, The Brady Bunch.
Would you quit watching that dumb cartoon? You haven't heard a word I said.
Sounds great, Gray.
This family sitcom wasn't a huge success during its initial run, but its focus on issues like sibling rivalry and young love made it a hit in syndication.
Yeah, you should have heard me when I was your age. Good morning, Mother. Good morning, Father.
Especially with younger viewers who connected well with the show, because episodes were often written from the viewpoint of the children.
Get lost!
Considered a holdover from an era of television that focused more on family, it portrays the blended unit created when widower Mike marries Carol, bringing together his 3 sons and her 3 daughters, which was a distinctly modern concept for 1970s America.
We can make the load a little lighter. Everybody has to try together. Don't you know it's now or never?
Number 6, The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
With this talk show, Carson created the template that modern late-night talk show hosts still follow.
Little gift from his feathered colon there.
But it was more than just innovative. His opening monologues were packed with one-liners, his celebrity interviews were sharp, and he consistently showcased unknown or talented performers.
You can all just stare at me when I catch my breath.
Carson had his finger on the pulse of what audiences wanted to see and hear.
So much smoke and steam pours out of the boat that people come to give me help when I don't even ask.
And regardless of who was on the show, the host's winning charisma and trademark cool made him a must-watch, especially after he moved the show from NYC to California in 1972.
Have you ever seen this show before?
Well, when I was up vomiting and all that stuff.
Number 5, Monty Python's Flying Circus.
I have a silly walk, and I'd like to obtain a government grant to help me develop it.
As much as we love this sketch comedy troupe's films, it was their show that rocketed them to stardom. A group of smart writers and excellent performers, the Pythons helped define comedy in the 70s. Their surreal humor was unlike anything that preceded it, and it cracked up audiences around the world.
Therefore, I named this child.
Don't say the kid's name, Vic!
Francesco Luigi.
The undefinable mix of intellectual jokes, physical comedy, and innuendo was truly something special.
Normally we try and avoid these little pauses, long goes. Only dramatically he's gone down to the basement, you see. Of course, there isn't really a basement, but he just goes off and we pretend.
And comedians continue to study their skits for inspiration even today. Number 4, Happy Days.
You keep your motor running. Yeah, rev it up.
Things probably weren't perfect all the time during the 50s and 60s, but this sitcom makes that era look great.
Hey, fellas, watch it. I'll be done here in a minute. Hey, come on, will you wait till I'm done? I'm done. Who's next?
It shows Midwestern teenager Richie Cunningham and his interactions with unforgettable characters like the Fonz.
Maybe you're gonna learn the hard way.
What's that mean?
That means that Ralph here ain't gonna drive tonight. I am.
Oh. The womanizer who later became his family's upstairs renter.
All right, now look, I'm gonna call all your parents so they can come and get you. Of course, that doesn't apply to those of you who get arrested on the family plan.
Though it depicted a bygone era, this show was just what the 70s needed. And by its 4th season, it finished number 1 in the ratings.
There he goes!
But even with all its success, it'll forever be remembered as the show that introduced the term jumping the shark into the lexicons of TV fans. Number 3, Saturday Night Live.
Waiter.
Lorne Lorne Michaels' late-night sketch show continues to be popular today, but it's tough to beat the years when it was the new kid on the block.
Our guest tonight is the author of several books on race in America, and he's here to talk about his latest book, White Like Me. Welcome, won't you, Junior Griffin.
Unforgettable cast members like Chevy Chase and John Belushi, combined with hysterical hosts like George Carlin or Richard Pryor, ensured that the not-ready-for-primetime players always had cutting-edge comedy that was as funny as it was insightful.
I just don't see what's so awful about this room, personally.
No, sir, oval. It's the Oval Office. Not awful, oval. Round.
Experimental and razor-sharp, this show launched the careers of many future stars and has since become one of the longest-running network TV shows in U.S. history.
With names like these, this stuff has got to be terrific. We're talking fabulous jam here.
Save your breath, fella. Here's a new jam we've just put out.
Number 2, The Muppet Show.
It's time to get things started on
The most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, motivational. This is what we call a Muppet Show.
Kids had Sesame Street, but this show was for everyone to enjoy. Simply put, if you like puns, puppets, and pop culture, this is the show for you.
Okay, moving right along now.
Excuse me, Kermit. The Human Cannonball Act just called. They're going to send Bob Hope back.
Oh, when's he going to get here?
Oh, soon. They're sending him by cannon.
It featured non-stop wordplay and mayhem, mostly coming from the mouths of the adorable Muppets who made up its cast.
These are the songs we delighted to hear.
Music was also a big part of the show, often becoming a part of the comedy, and they frequently brought on world-famous musical guests like Elton John.
I remember when a rock was young. Me and Susie had so much fun.
Still, it's lovable characters like Kermit and Miss Piggy that really earned the series its legacy.
Oh, at last a mature and passionate love duet between me and my Kermit.
Well, you're not doing it with me.
What? Before we unveil our pick for decade-defining show of the 1970s, here are a few honorable mentions.
I'd feel a lot more welcome if you'd put that thing down.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Are we ready, Bosley? Give me just a moment, sir.
More moo-goo-goo.
You was just that noise. He said moo-goo-goo-goo.
I almost wish he were here now. He could share this with me.
Or maybe we can do the next best thing.
Right at the top of the list would be the man hates us Ewings the most, Cliff Barnes.
Number 1.
Here, McIntyre, can you hear me?
MASH.
One more yell like that and you and I will have interchangeable parts.
Topping our list is a show whose finale broke viewership records, but it had been entertaining audiences for 11 seasons before that.
Oh, of course.
Based on the popular 1970 film of the same name, MASH followed the team at a mobile army surgical hospital in the Korean War.
Dismissed.
Not quite a comedy and not quite a drama, the show brought laughs as often as it prompted tears.
Henry Blake's plane was shot down over the Sea of Japan.
And its wartime setting was particularly poignant due to the ongoing Vietnam War. But the show blended genres effectively thanks to high-quality writing, impeccable acting, and unforgettable characters.
You're beat, Captain. I suggest you hit the sack this afternoon instead of chasing nurses.
A good idea, Frank, but some of those girls have been waiting for months.
Do you agree with our list? What TV show do you think best defined the 1970s?
Freddie, boom boom. What's the boom boom for? Boom boom boom.
For more memorable top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Those were the days.